Well, I mean, if you thought it was bad with Conte, I mean, it's far worse now. I think he was holding it all together, Jim. And people on the way out, he was trying to explain. He was saying, look, and he started to come for the players. And I think now it's really worrying. You know, you can say, okay, this manager changed the system for the first time in probably 3 years. Jim, they play with, I know you're looking at your watch, but the systems are important. But it only takes you so far.
I'm so sorry.
You have to have a passion and a desire, okay? The players just didn't turn up. Who could you look at amongst that group that was actually standing? And that's even the captain. I know he gets his goal, but that's not enough. You know,
So was Conte right all along then?
Well, yes. And he told us it all before he left. That this
good of him.
this group haven't got what it takes.
This lot will implode. I'm out of here.
Now, there's major issues now because Harry Kane was just having these conversations. Simon thinks that he's going to stay, and I think he's in the comfort zone if he stays. If it carries on like this, and there's not a reassurance and a manager who comes in there, they're in major difficulty right now. They've got good players who aren't playing well enough. And
So you think Kane should go?
I think he's now looking at it, he's thinking, can we keep losing games in this manner and me really stay here? Is it viable for me in my career? I'm not so
he's
sure
part
now.
of it.
Does he do everyone a favour by saying, do you know what, I'm off? Because if we're prepared for these sets of standards, maybe I ought to leave. I ought to go somewhere else. I've done everything I can, and let's see how you have my blessing. I hope you do well when I leave, but maybe I should go, and the money comes in to try to rebuild the club that I love.
The challenge is, I mean, listen, there's no way Daniel Levy should have left the situation in abeyance with that. May be availability of replacement, but the argument that he fired Conte engineered a reverse constructive dismissal. There was no place to go. Daniel's mentality was, what gets me in the top four? Have I got to listen to this Italian's crap?
He should have made him stay,
months?
Simon. He should have made him stay.
If you've got
him stay and make you get into the top four.
And I'll confront you with the reality. If you've got a guy that wants to set you and everyone else around you on fire and doesn't care the consequence of it because he doesn't want to be there anymore, you're making someone stay against their will. Right? What Conte wanted to do was go. Now, whether he should have ever come in the door...
I think he wanted to win, Simon.
Well, then he should have provided a better solution because he was there for 15, 16 months and he created the same temperament, the same culture and the same group of players that other people did. And he was supposed to bridge that gap. Now, I know that all roads will lead to Daniel Levy, and as the owner of the football club, it has to, because he's the guy that sets the standards. But let's not get away from this. I've had football managers, and I have players. They find excuses and everything. It's everyone else's fault. That performance on Saturday might be centred in not getting a managerial replacement.
I'll ask you this. Has it got better since Conte left?
No, but I think it would have gotten worse.
So you should have made him stay. Make him stay, see out your contract.
What a silly thing to say. You can make someone...
Did he come out and say... I didn't hear him say he wanted to leave at any point.
Conte set it. I mean, come on, Martin. He engineered.
Unless you're telling me things that are happening behind the scenes, and you've got an in to Daniel Levy. I don't know this story.
Your eyes and ears don't betray you, do they? You listen to his press conference afterwards.
Incredibly honest.
Everything. No, incredibly self-serving about his engine. He didn't want to be there anymore. Whether people want to hear this or not, and I'm not excusing Daniel Levy from this equation because he is the standard bearer. Conte, let's get facts on the table. Conte didn't want to be there anymore. Whether that's because he's had situations in his life where there's been people around him that have passed away and illnesses that have caused situations, or whether it turned out a more difficult job, or whether he realised he'd taken a pup on. Right? I come from the world that you finish what you start, right? And you honour your obligations. Football managers don't come from that position. They come from the position of what suits me best and what gives me the best outcome. So what Conte did was determine an outcome, which is basically, I don't want to be here anymore, so I'm going. And what I'll do is, I'll do it in public and I'll do it in private, and I'll say the most tenuous things and the most aggressive things to create this division so you can't have me anymore. Because there's no point having me anymore. So I could have made him stay from a contract point of view, and what would that have done? It would have got worse.
I think sometimes there's a very fine line when successful type personalities come into the building. Is he a troublemaker, or is he going to... He was striving for success, and nobody in the building was listening to him. And now it's a massive regret he's gone.
But no, it's not.
It should be. It should be.
And I agree with you, because I was a major advocate for him, Martin, but not the Conte that walked in the door at Tottenham Hotspur, that did a favour for Tottenham Hotspur, that needed to be convinced.
So let's get rid of the guy who tells us we're not good enough. Let's get rid of the guy who's trying to set new standards. Go on, let's go.
No, he got rid of himself. No.
Comfort zone. Everyone's in the comfort zone.
He got rid of himself, didn't he? Because and again, I'll ask you the question. After 16 months,
the guy was ill. He had a major operation.
Before we go to the break, right? I understand that too, right? But if nothing's changed in 16 months, right, and the same sentiment you came in when they played Mura away in the European Conference League, and he said, bleeding terrible it was. When he came into a situation where Mourinho had said the same thing about the players, right? And 16 months later, he hasn't changed a bleeding thing. Do you not think he's in part culpable himself?
Yeah, but
Of
then
course.
he should be allowed to finish the job to the end of the season.
Well, he didn't want to.
He didn't want to,
Look what's happened. No, he was sacked.
Couldn't make him
No,
say
he
was
wasn't.
sacked.
He wasn't
Amicably
Martin.
sacked.
He wasn't. He engineered a reverse constructive dismissal. He told the chairman of the
Let's
football
get
club,
Daniel
"It's
Levy on
all
and tell us
crap."
what happened.
You text
Get your mate on. Get your mate on.
What we know is this. Next up for Tottenham, Manchester United. I mean, what kind of Tottenham's going to turn up to that this week? But as I say, Tottenham, from Champions League football to Europa League football to Europa Conference League football to no European football, is that what you're looking at? And the guy in charge at the moment, who is he? How on earth has he got the job? And what's he going to do from this point onwards? Should he even still be in the job from now until the end of the season? I'm talking about Christian Stellini. Christian, if you're listening, sorry, I don't know you, but no offence meant. What next for Tottenham? Where on earth is this football club? 03717 223344.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.